moderate state is a scenario in which Pakistan pursues some gradual improvements in the quality of its governance, in its opening to the world, in its relationship with India, and finds a stable or more effective balance between civilians and military in charge of the country. It's a country where you'll see economic growth and gradual move for many Pakistanis out of poverty and into something that looks more like a middle-class, sustainable economic future.
A moderate Pakistan emerging is certainly the most hopeful, and in fact, today is the most conceivable in some respects. I think that there's tremendous interest on the part of India to see that happen, on the part of the United States to see that happen, on the part of China to see that happen.
Without some very serious external pressure, I don't really see Pakistan taking on that trajectory, because the internal ability to do so is so constrained by the army and the army's image of what Pakistan's key interests are. So I'm not optimistic about that outcome at all.
I think there are various things that the United States can and should do to move Pakistan in a different direction. One is to give even greater importance to the social and educational problems that the country faces. Another is to indicate our preference for a civilian-ruled government. And another would be to encourage better India-Pakistan relations.
पाकिस्तान और अमेरिका के ताल्लुकात की तारीख बहुत से ड्रामाई उतार चढ़ाव से पुर है। ताहम उसामा बिन लादेन की पाकिस्तानी सरजमीन पर मौजूदगी का राज खुलने के बाद से ये ताल्लुकात एक नए चैलेंज से दो चार हो गए हैं।
The U.S. needs answers from Pakistan on how bin Laden could have remained in this compound for 6 years.
जनूबी एशिया के उमूर की तज्जियाकार लीजा कर्टिस जिस सवाल के लिए पाकिस्तान के अमेरिका को जवाबदेह ठहराने का जिक्र कर रही हैं, ये सवाल अमेरिकी ही नहीं, पाकिस्तानियों के जहनों और जबानों पर भी आम है।
What a wonderful opportunity.
कई तज्जियाकार कह चुके हैं कि ये सिविलियन ताकतों के लिए किस कदर अहम मौका है कि वो 1971 में मशरिकी पाकिस्तान की अलहदगी के वाक़ये के बाद जुल्फ़िकार अली भुट्टो जैसी कारकर्दगी दिखा सकें।
अमरीकी दारुल-हुकूमत वाशिंगटन डीसी के एक थिंक टैंक हसन इंस्टीट्यूट में जमा होने वाले माहिरीन के इस पैनल की राय में मौजूदा हालात पाकिस्तान की सियासी क़यादत के लिए एक मौका फराहम करते हैं कि वो गैर सियासी ताकतों के असर से अलग होकर अपने दाखिली मसाइल और बैनुल-अक़वामी ताल्लुकात की उलझनों में कमी लाने के लिए जुर्रतमंदाना किरदार अदा करें। ताहम लीसा कर्टिस इस मौक़िफ़ को जरूरत से ज्यादा अहमियत नहीं देना चाहती।
मेरे ख्याल में ऐसा मुमकिन नहीं। फौज अभी पाकिस्तान में बहुत बाइख्तियार है और अगर सियासी क़यादत फौज पर दबाव बढ़ाने की कोशिश करेगी तो इससे सूरत हाल मजीद गैर मुस्तहकम भी हो सकती है। मेरी राय में ये वक्त है कि फौज और हुकूमत जंगजुओं और उनके नजरिए के खिलाफ मुत्तहिद हों और उन्हें एक मुत्तफ़क़ा पैगाम दें।
Well, Neil, I think as far as the nuclear issue is concerned, we have to put it in the following perspective. It's not Pakistan's nuclear weapons that are really the problem here. It's the use of, or the misuse of these unregulated fissile materials, plutonium, enriched uranium, uranium waste, plutonium waste, things of that nature. If those got into the wrong hands, they then enable an al-Qaeda type of organization to have in its hands the necessary capability to build a radiation dirty bomb that could then end up on our shores somewhere. That's what I think.
And whether there is consensus on who is a Muslim in Pakistan, because there has never been a consensus on that. And Pakistan was the world's first Muslim state, Islamic Republic.
Those of you who heard me before here, and I have been associated with Hillel in the Islam project of Hudson Institute.
In the post-9/11 era, drawing on Hudson tradition, we have assembled the most talented team of researchers in the world, focusing on the ideological character of Islamic radicalism. We help national and international leaders understand the threat of radical Islam and terrorism and how it can be countered. Our scholars work to promote freedom and human rights, especially in the face of religious persecution.
This is what is constantly preoccupying the minds of congressmen and the U.S. taxpayer, that we are giving you $1.5 billion a year. We've already given you about $20 billion, and hey, what have we got for it? Well, let me explain. First of all, you have got quite a lot for it, which is to say that Pakistan has lost nearly 35,000 people dead in fighting this war. And originally it wasn't our war, it was the United States war. We went along with it, and then there was this backlash. We've lost over 3,000 soldiers, which is more than anybody in Europe, any country in Europe has lost. I don't know, maybe the US has lost as many, but certainly 3,000 soldiers and officers is a lot of soldiers. And so we know that this is our war.
Various administration officials, both currently and in the past, have made the case that cracking down on militants in Pakistan, the Haqqani network in particular, is in Pakistan's own security interests. What do you think both on that and also more generally about how to rein in militancy in Pakistan?
Well, I think it's in our interests, most certainly, because we have to rein in not only militants but curb all kinds of violence. But why only the Haqqani network? Why not the people who are out there in my city, killing people, out there kidnapping people? So the message has to be inclusive. That is what I am saying. And there is no doubt that we have had a very, I would use the word, weak, self-defeating, self-destructive policy in Pakistan. And if we don't change, then the international community is beginning to lose patience with us. And we have to recognize that. And therefore, if we are straight, we have our thinking correct, we know what is best for us, and then implement that rather than play games, I suppose that we are in a position to negotiate much harder with the international community.
At all.
I am sad to say that I don't see those components which can push Pakistan in the direction of this modern, progressive, democratic state in immediate future. Pakistan will have to go through a long process of 10 to 15 years of stability, economic growth, and a change in mindset in the establishment about their view about India. Without a friendly, peaceful relationship with India, Pakistan cannot even dream about such a scenario.
کیا ہم پاکستان کو محض ایک تھیوکریٹک سٹیٹ بنانا چاہتے ہیں؟ کیا ہم یہ سمجھتے ہیں کہ محض مذہبی تعلیم گورننس کے لیے یا گورنمنٹ چلانے کے لیے کافی ہے؟
وکی لیکس کے جاری کردہ ایک امریکی مراسلے میں انکشاف کیا گیا ہے کہ مسلم لیگ نون کے رہنما چودھری نثار علی خان کے بیوی بچوں کے پاس امریکی شہریت ہے اور انہوں نے عوام کی نظر میں اپنی ساکھ بچانے کے لیے اسلام آباد کے بجائے لندن میں امریکی سفارت خانے سے اپنی بیٹی کے پاسپورٹ کی تجدید کروائی تھی۔ 19 ستمبر 2008 کو امریکی سفیر این پیرسن نے سفارتی مراسلہ واشنگٹن بھیجا جو چودھری نثار کے ساتھ ان کی ملاقات کی تفصیل پر مشتمل ہے۔ مراسلے کے مطابق چودھری نثار کا کہنا تھا کہ پرویز مشرف کے استعفے کے بعد سویلین حکومت کے تحت امریکہ اور پاکستان کے لیے مل کر کام کرنے کی مزید گنجائش پیدا ہونی چاہیے۔ انہوں نے پچھلے کچھ ہفتوں کے دوران ہونے والے واقعات پر تشویش کا اظہار کرتے ہوئے زور دیا کہ امریکہ اور پاکستان کو تعلقات میں بہتری کا راستہ تلاش کرنا چاہیے۔ مراسلے کے مطابق ہمیشہ کی طرح چودھری نثار نے اس بات پر اصرار کیا کہ مسلم لیگ نون اور وہ خود امریکہ کے حامی ہیں اور ان کے بیوی بچے امریکی ہیں۔ انہوں نے تسلیم کیا کہ وہ اپنی بیٹی کے پاسپورٹ کی تجدید کروانے لندن میں امریکی سفارت خانے گئے تھے کیونکہ وہ نہیں چاہتے کہ انہیں اسلام آباد میں امریکی سفارت خانے میں دیکھا جائے۔
What are your views on A.Q. Khan, and will you permit him to be interviewed by the West?
A.Q. Khan has confessed to exporting weapons of mass destruction. This was clearly in violation of Pakistan's policy. My government and I had worked with President Bush 41 on a program with regard to Pakistan's nuclear assets, and under that we had committed, actually I had committed here in the halls of Congress, that Pakistan would not export nuclear technology. And when I made that commitment that Pakistan would not export nuclear technology, I did it not only on behalf of the political government in Pakistan, I did it after developing a consensus with the military and with the president, the then president of Pakistan. And so A.Q. Khan's export was a clear violation of Pakistani law. He has fallen on his sword and taken the blame. Many Pakistanis are cynical about whether AQ Khan could have done this without any official sanction. My party has called for parliamentary hearings into the nuclear export by AQ Khan to determine whether he was solely liable for it or whether there were others who were involved with him. While we do